Hi guys, Melinda Fargus here. Guess what? It's weekly travel updates, and today, well, I have 2 weeks to catch up with. All right, you can go in and send your comments about the hair. I know it's bad. I'm getting a haircut. I'm getting my hair done Thursday. So, Tawana, if you watch, you will be pleased. But I thank you for coming because, it takes a lot to put together all of the greatest things that have gone on in the past week. Uh, the biggest story, well, we had Father's Day. Father's Day was big. Um, we had travelers to take their fathers places. That would be a great gift because it allows great memories. For me, my dad passed in 2014, and I miss him. He was a great encourager, but I will see him again one day in heaven. Well, this week, I have to tell you, a lot of things have gone on. One of the biggest things that you'll see news-wise is Disney delivered their new ship today. Today, the brand new ship, the Disney Wish, came into Port Canaveral, and there were people lined up all up and down the Guinea in Fort Lauderdale. So in Port Canaveral, to watch the ship come in. Lots of festivities. It arrives now in Port Canaveral for 3 and 4 night sailings between now and the end of the year. When they first open ships reservations like this, when they actually first start selling, now is a great time to look into pricing to travel on the Disney Wish. If Disney's been in your future, now's a good time to check. Just call the number that's below. It's let's see, it's coming across. It'll be here in just a minute. That's telling you that we turned 32 years old last week. I'm so excited. There's the number right there. Right there. 222 trip. Hasn't changed. Same thing. 336-222 trip. That's the number. And most of you have my cell phone number anyway, but let me tell you what else is going on. June 14th, because my brother's in the Army, and to honor him for Father's Day, June 14th, I wanted to tell you that the Army turned 247 years old. If you know somebody from the Army, remind them of that. And last weekend, Nassau had 20,210 passengers disembark cruise ships. Wow. Well, that is exactly the date that 1 year ago the Bahamas opened up for cruise passengers. So that's a pretty good number. And I'll tell you, their numbers for 2023 are double that. There will be more ships, and there will be larger ships, and they will bring more people to Nassau, Bahamas. I did read where Atlanta has started a nonstop flight over to Abaco. So if you like the Bahamas, but you're not crazy about Nassau or Freeport, that's a good option. Well, the statistics are in. And on these new ships, they are, by the way, running at 100% occupancy. For several ships I checked out this week, 51% of the travelers were new cruisers, first-time cruisers. So that being the case, and that audience growing bigger and bigger every day, I wanted to touch on some things that first-time cruisers should think about. All right, so the first thing is skip the coffee and the ice cream shop and the pastry shop. It is all free up on the Lido deck. Ground coffee, maybe it won't have the whipped cream on top, but there's all kinds of accessories up there for you to use to make the perfect cup of tea, the perfect cup of coffee. In the morning, I always take a large disposable bottle, and I take it and I fill it up with ice halfway, and I fill it up with juice. So pineapple juice, mango juice, orange juice, apple juice. and I fill it up, and it's a great refreshing drink, and it lasts me a lot of the day. But you can take disposable bottles, and many of the cruise lines, particularly Carnival's really lean in this direction. They have disposable refillable cups for beer at a very inexpensive price, about half of what their bottles are. They have refillable soda cups. Royal Caribbean has that too, but think about those things before you leave, because that can save you a ton of money. The other thing is, you're allowed, every cruise line allows you to take on either a 6-pack of sodas or a 12-pack of sodas. So if you have to have your sodas, I've gotten aware waters just fine, but if you have to have your sodas, then look at what you can carry on board. If you pick up something in the duty-free store at the airport, if you're flying in, cool. If you don't, ask the taxi driver to stop at a convenience store right before the port, because there are several right near the port arrival area. And you can also take on 1 bottle of wine per adult. Okay, another thing that's just overlooked is that all of the new cruise ships, you have to be tech savvy. You have to be able to go in. Many of the restaurants have got the full menus. You just scan the app when you sit down at a table, and that menu gives you everything. If you're on Royal Caribbean ships, you need that app every day so that you can check into your activities or book your activities. We want to go see the ice skating show tonight, or specialty dining. There's lots of things that require that tech savvy plus if you're going to cruise now. If you're not tech savvy, then come by the office and let me show you the app, and we'll walk through it together. Okay, another thing is the Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi is truly expensive. It is 40 cents to 75 cents per minute. And you can buy packages, but still, guys, the Wi-Fi is not that great. When I go on a cruise, well, I allow Texas to come in, but if you leave your phone on, it is updating your emails. It is downloading updates for apps. 2 days when a friend of mine left her phone on and forgot to put airplane mode on, 2 days cost $200, because to connect with the ship is quite expensive. So when I go, I plan and I say, hey, Mom, we are in Jamaica on day 3, and that's the day I'll call you. And we're in Mexico on day 6, and I'll call you again. It is when there's good Wi-Fi, and it's free. I mean, I tell people, put your phone on airplane mode. You can still get the text if there's something crucial, but leave it on airplane mode. And when you get 50 feet off the ship, turn it off. There's Wi-Fi somewhere close by. And if you're unsure, just ask any of the staff that's getting off the ship, because they're headed right to free Wi-Fi. Okay, the next item would be excursions. I used to never book cruise line excursions, because why pay the cruise line extra for, I'll give you for instance, in Juneau, they charge $78 for the Mount Roberts tramway. Well, that's really cool. So you want to do that, and it's not too expensive. It's only, it's $75, $78. But all that you're doing is you get off the ship and you're following somebody down less than 300 yards, and they drop you in front of the trolley system, the tramway system. It was ridiculous for people to pay that kind of money. If you have a good travel agent, particularly one who's been to the places that you're looking for, that's who you need to talk to. And if you don't have a good travel agent like that, you need to be talking to me. Okay, next, spa treatments. Spa treatments are crazy on ships. It is like the cost of being in a fine spa in London. But if you really have your heart set on a spa, wait until it's a day at sea, because then they will reduce the cost, because most everybody's off the ship. So there's always a deal when there are, I said days at sea. That's exactly wrong. It's days in port. When everybody else is getting off, that's when you want to go get a spa treatment at a usually close to half price. Photos is another thing. You guys they'll be taking your pictures every time you get off the ship. And then you go to the photo gallery and you see all these pictures of you. Well, if you do it right at the end, I have had them make me a package price. And that package price was really reasonable. But now they do everything digitally. So they don't bother to print things. They don't waste that like they used to when they printed everything. So now you pick out the digital prints that you want, and you're paying from $12 to $28, and you can get enlargements. Now, if it was a great family gathering and that was the perfect photo, buy it. Otherwise, take an hour of your time and save hundreds of dollars and go around the ship and make pictures yourself. Our phones have got fabulous cameras on them now. And I guarantee you, if you offer to take a picture of a couple that is standing by the sparkling fountain and that's where you want your photo, if you offer to take their photo, I bet you 9 to 10 that they will offer to make your photo. It happens a lot. Okay, next. Bottled water. I think I kind of covered that with the disposable water thing. But they charge for bottled water on the ship. All drinking water on the ship, all water on the ship is drinkable. If you don't like the taste, bring some of the little packets of flavoring and make it what you want it to be. But there is free water at the Lido deck 24 hours a day. And that's what I would do. All right, next. Art auctions. Oh, goodness. All right, so you get roped in because they say, come to the art auction, free champagne, free print. I have gotten a couple of those prints, but I also have $1,500 worth of beautiful artwork on my wall at the office that I really didn't need. It was framed nicely. It was shipped to me just as they promised. But, I bid on one and I like to win. So I bid on one and it went a little higher than I wanted. And then they put up a second one that matched it. They're of Italy, and it looks just like you are walking down to the sea. Beautiful stores on each side. It's just picturesque. Anyway, when that one came up, the same guy was bidding against me. And I like to win, so I got the second one. When I went to tell them where to mail them and everything, oh, they hit me again. They said, here's a matching one, and you can add it for only $300. Well, considering what I paid for the other two, that was really a value, so I did. Long story short, they offer free champagne. They offer prints. Go pick up the prints and turn around and leave. Because if you're like me and you like to win, you'll get sucked right into those auctions. And there are some who have sued ParkWest, which is the company that's on most cruise lines, because the value wasn't as good as what they paid for them. I bought it because I liked it. But if you're going to really buy something, research it before you go. Okay, so let me tell you, the first-time cruisers, if it's your first time, let me tell you where you'd be most comfortable. You'd be most comfortable in the top 3 regions: the Caribbean, the Mediterranean, or Alaska. There are so many ships, and they have been doing these ports for so long that it is the easiest way to cruise. So if it's your first time, that's what I would suggest. If it's your first time and you ever wanted to go to Alaska, I think you ought to think about next year, because we moved our group to 2023. If you have not heard, we canceled our Alaska trip for this September, and Norwegian canceled our cruise for October to Hawaii. They're having staff shortages and they could not. Hi, Teresa. Hey, Diane Kyle Smith. I'll see you for breakfast in the morning. But anyway, dadgummit, I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying, Mom?
Just talking about Hawaii.
Oh, they don't have enough staff to adequately have a full ship. And so they've reduced the numbers. Like if you weren't already booked, you're out of luck. And even if you were booked, they could still cancel you. Well, I was trying to do a professional development journeys trip on that cruise, and that does not work. So rather than them canceling us after we've got more people booked, we are going to move the cruise to next year. Let me know in the comments if Alaska or Hawaii is on your bucket list. I know that Teresa Blackman's here because she wants to hear about Scotland and Ireland. And Teresa, I'll tell you, I am toying between a few, and when I see you Thursday, we'll talk about it. Okay. The next thing for first-time cruisers is to choose the right cruise. There are mass cruises like Carnival, Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, and now MSC. Even MSC is in Alaska. Those are like the mainline cruises. If you don't want to be around families, if you don't want to be around kids, you shouldn't go on these because these are bustling resort style ships. And that's what people are coming for. So if you want something a little less activity, a little more formal, then I would step into the next category, which is premium. And premium would be like Princess, Holland American, Disney, Celebrity, Cunard. There are several more, but the ones that we would be most familiar with, those are the ones. And here you're not going to have maybe the big production shows like you do on the mega ships. That's one of their big draws is, come on a cruise because it's got your food, it's got your entertainment, it's got activities, it has snacks. All of these things are included in your fare, 24-hour room service. And compare that to a resort stay and see how they come out. That's usually where we go when we're looking at things. Hello, Lisa Thomas. I hope that Johnny had a wonderful Father's Day. You tell him I said Happy Father's Day. The next thing is after the premier category, you get into the small ships that are 4 and 5 star ships. You're going to have 600 to 800 passengers max. The crew to staff ratio is much greater. And it's going to be, well, not much for kids. I'm not going to say that they discourage it, but there's just not a lot of activity. So unless you are bringing your kid and he's going to be doing homeschooling, or school while he's on the ship and you can work while you're on the ship, there's not a lot to do. Okay, it's more formal, meaning Royal Caribbean, Carnival, MSC, NCL, they say resort casual for dining. Well, resort casual could be a golf shirt and a pair of khakis. But now resort casual has gone even to shorts and a button-up shirt. Shorts and a golf shirt. No t-shirts. But they ask you not to wear flip-flops, but it is getting more and more and more relaxed. So we'll talk about it when we choose your cruise and which ship. The next thing is your cabin. When I book you something, I want your cabin to be surrounded by other cabins. When we quote cruise rates, there are cruise rates and then there are guaranteed rates. Well, those guaranteed rates say, I want an inside, I want an ocean view, or I want a balcony. And then the cruise line chooses where you go. One of the YouTubers that I follow, Bruce, was talking about he chose an ocean view guarantee. It was a fabulous price. But every morning he heard the gym was right above his room. So he heard thuds of people working out. That's not a great first cruise experience, but that was his first cruise experience. Anyway, there are lots of things that we consider as an agent to help you navigate these things. It's one of the values of using an agent. Think about what you'd spend as a total on a cruise. What are you going to spend on beverages? What are you going to spend on extra dining, if anything? That's a source point for me too. If you're not given those specialty dinings, only purchase it if it's a special event. I'm telling you, you're missing out on a free dinner that you can many times order some of the same things. You're not in a private venue like the specialty restaurants, but you're also not paying an extra $70 to $100. Just my opinion. I have gone and I love them, but if I have to pay for it, I am happy, very thrilled to go to the dining room because I have my favorite things, and you can always ask the chef to fix your favorite thing. Anyway, all right, so let's go on. I have a question for everybody watching, and I want to know, the protocols are changing. So Celebrity is saying no one 18 and over has to have testing. That's good news if you're not vaccinated, but tell me how you feel if unvaccinated travelers were able to cruise in the next quarter. I would love to know what your thoughts are. I would like to see if you would feel comfortable. Lisa, Teresa, Diane, I know you guys cruise. Oh, Deborah, not good. Well, I don't think it's there yet, but instead of the coronavirus being a pandemic, it's now an endemic. And an endemic meaning it's going to be categorized just like the flu, just like seasonal allergies. It's going to be just something that we live with. I said last week that out of 110 ships that we have sailing from U.S. ports around our country, more than 80 of them were in orange. If you haven't watched me before, the CDC codes our ships by green, yellow, orange, or gray. So orange is when they have to investigate where are the causes. Hi, Sherry Duraco. You need to come to our Businesswomen's Network meeting in the morning at my office, 8:30 to 9:30. Diane's going to be there. Okay, anyway, let's go on. I know this is super long tonight, and I apologize, but I didn't get to do one last week, and I had lots of notes that I had worked on. We went down to Curry Beach to this beautiful, beautiful pier, and I'm going to show you a picture of it. And I was, oops, let me take me away. To really throw this thing out. Just put a new 3-ounce weight on it and 2 new shrimp, and I had been catching. It was fun. They said, "Do you like fishing?" I said, "No, I like catching. But if I'm catching, I like fishing." Anyway, I hurled it out there. I hit my brand new hat that went over into the ocean, and it went really far. It was a great cast, but but I had my phone in my hand, and it went straight in the water about 12 feet out. No excuse. I know better, but that's what happened. So if you have texted me or called me, I hate to tell you, I do not have your phone numbers. Will you please call or text me again? You can reach me at 336-260-4144. 4877. That's my cell. I'm only going to do it one time. All right. See you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will share more as more comes out. But, oh, I forgot to tell you about Canada. All right. Canada is changing their protocols. What they're saying is that they're going to require a vaccine for everybody 12 and over. So it's no longer just a test, a negative test to get you into Canada. You must be vaccinated to get into Canada. Yet another reason some are canceling Hawaii because, Alaska, because they're a Canadian port and they have had testing. There have been lots of challenges in Alaska. I don't think I've told you, but because of the 2 years that there was not 47 ships traveling up and down the waterways of Alaska and the Gulf of Alaska, the wildlife has more than doubled. And so the Coast Guard is now requiring ships to slow down. It's causing people to miss ports, people to miss booked excursions that they booked independently. That's a bad thing. And I said a couple weeks ago, just consider, like the lady that jumped off of the Celebrity Silhouette, 50 years old, jumped off on the first day, didn't even enjoy her cruise, but jumped off between Juneau and Skagway. And what did they do? They cut off the entire waterway. Well, can you imagine the entire waterway, all the ships that were coming north and all the ships that were coming south? And now they're stuck for 12 hours. So that really does mess up cruise itineraries. Those are some of the reasons that we decided to cancel. But when you go on a cruise, you hope that you get to see everything, but you are actually saying, I understand that you have the authority to change the route, to change anything with the itinerary at will. And some cruise lines do give money or do give perks if you miss a port or if you're delayed, et cetera, but many do not. All right, that's it. I'm wrapping it up. Thanks, guys. Look forward to seeing you next Monday night. Send me any travel questions. I am happy to answer. Thank you. Have a good evening. Ciao.